Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. For my YouTube viewers, this is going to be a weekly outlook. Again, as a disclaimer, whatever I'm going to show you is the direction that I think the charts are going to go. So what we do here is the analysis part of trading. It's only the analysis. I'm not giving you a trade. I'm not telling you how you should enter this trade, and trading is much more than just the analysis. So what I'm using is called wave analysis. The method is called wave analysis. It's the only method that actually does forecasting. Most other methods are based on a strategy, saying buy here, put a stop here, sell here, without the clear direction. Of course, when you put on a trade, you're hoping that it goes your direction. But there is no method to the direction. There's only a hope that this pin bar is going to go, or this support is going to hold, or this resistance is going to hold, or something to that effect. The wave analysis is actually showing you step by step what we think the chart is going to do based on specific patterns that exist, right? Now, the idea is that can you take advantage of that? So when traders ask me, does wave analysis make me a successful trader? I'm like, well, it's up to you. Can you use the knowledge you're having here to make money? Well, if you ask me if it is possible to make money using that knowledge, the answer is yes. And if you're in my group, you would exactly know why that answer is yes. We have a lot of successful traders. I have a lot of traders who have been trained with me and left the group and are very successful. And I happen to know them. Some of them even working in hedge funds, right? So we know that. The question is, can you do it? And if you ask me, the answer is if you're willing to put in the hard work, you can do it. So with that said, let's go. I'm going to start. Dollar index. If you've been following me, I've been telling you for a while, the dollar index at any point does not, in the higher time frame, does not have a clear direction. And that is still so. And that might probably still be so for a couple of months or so, because there's nowhere I think we're going to break that up in a month, or we're going to break this low in a month. So we'll probably be still going sideways. Now, one of the things we were looking for when we sold this one here was that this might come and break the low. And then we would have had our first pattern. We would have put it like this, and we would have gone with 1, 2, 3. And then this would probably have go break the top or come back all the way to the bottom. Now, that didn't happen. It did drop, was a good sell. Nothing's wrong with that sell. It came pretty nice here, but then it went back and it's breaking it up. And we're getting a similar move. You saw this one there? That's exactly what we have here now. See that? That's exactly the same trade like this. So here's a question. If this one drops so nice, what are the chances that this does exactly the same thing? Let's go lower. Let's go to the 1 hour and see. Is that a possibility? I think so. I think it's a very strong possibility. This is just one sharp move, and this is a sharp move. So by all means, we don't have a pattern. We don't have anything. We just have two moves. Can this come here and then make a flat and go back up? I think so. Can this drop straight to the bottom? If it does, we'll probably put this as a expanding flat. I hate that expanding flat. That's why I'm not putting it as yet. Can we decide that this altogether makes a running flat? It's possible. But right now, the only trade I would go for is this one coming back to about here and then going back up. Right? That's what I think. Now, this is sharp, this is sharp, this is sharp. So all by itself, that's not making a pattern. Right? The rare case is if this actually comes down really slow. Like a break, but it starts doing this. Now, that just made everything very clear, because if it does this, we're going to go up, we're going to come down, we're going to get a running flat here, and then we're going to break the top. We'll definitely break that top if this happens. And when we break the top, this would be all the correction. This would be the first pattern we're going to have is 1, 2, 3, and we're coming down. Right? Now, all of this is going to take months to happen. So what's your trade for today? Your trade for today is a sell setup. I'll be looking. Let me clear all of these. That's from last week. They no longer have any value. So the trade for today on the dollar index is a sell setup. I expect this to drop more. Right? The way we have it now. Here's the thing. If you're not a wave analysis trader, be careful of the sell, because the sell is only valid if it does what this did. See? Without coming back to the top, it dropped. So you don't want this to go back to the top there, because if it does, and you ask me what we're going to do, we're going to allow it to come here and then we're going to buy it. See the difference? If you saw that and you understand what the market is doing, you're one step to be successful. But if I tell you it's a sell and it comes here and then you go and leave a comment on my chart, look, he's wrong about it again because now it comes here and go back up. Let's say it does this today and then in the afternoon it come here and then it took off in New York session there and you're going to leave a comment on my chart. Hey, look what he said is going to go down and went up. Then you're actually 90% going to fail because then you have no clue what the chart is actually doing. Right? So focus on what it's doing, how this is going to change. As it stands right now, it's a sell setup. That could change within the next couple hours. If this comes back to the top here, that sell is off. Because the pattern that will be created here will be a flat for upside. So as it stands here, if it stays here, as long as it stays here, we're selling. As a matter of fact, I would have a sell entry order here immediately. I'd put a sell entry here now because it can break anytime. Now, can it tag you and pull back a little? We're not even going to go into that because then you have to learn a lot more about wave analysis. So this is not a trade call. This is me telling you what I think the chart is going to do based on what it's doing right now and what it did in the past. So we're going to put a sell setup. You can actually put it as an active sell. Silver, yeah, dropping some more, and I think this one is going to drop some more. So this is actually a sell setup here from Friday. It went up a little more. I thought it would break the top and then come down. I don't know if there was a sell setup here earlier. Let's see in the 15 if there was a sell. You actually could have got it from the top here because once it break the top, they pull back, they pull back, they pull back. But don't worry about that. You can put an entry here. This is a valid sell. Wait for a flag here. If it makes a flag here, this would be much better. We sell that. And the sell will be to break this low. After which I wouldn't be surprised if they actually reversed. So how low can this go? Let's go back to the one. I'll remind you what we're looking at. What we're looking at is this flat here, right? So we had 1, 2, 3, and then it came here. So this was going to go down. And this could actually break the low here, but then there's a good chance that, from there, it actually goes right back up. Now, what if it drops much lower? Well, then we're going to assume that, well, this is a big flat for downside, and that is rare, right? It's a 1, 2. Normally, when it comes back to the top, we're thinking of a flat for upside. The only reason this could drop down much lower is because this up move is at a high point. See? That up move is at a very high point in this structure. If you're looking at this structure here, that's from the top. So rarely, but sometimes it does happen when it's at the top and it make that huge flat at the top there, but then instead of going back up and then come, it just keeps dropping. Now, this one is going down really, really slow, but I mean, who cares? We're selling, right? So it's a sell setup. If it drops through the bottom, if it drops through, I'll keep this line here, but if it drops through more than that, that's a pattern we're looking for. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's a channel anymore. We can take it off. Sorry about that. I'll most likely go with a running flat. I'll most likely go with the possibility of this being a running flat if we take these slow moves. But if you take them as separate ones, then the channel will be mostly with this. A much bigger channel, right? So we still think we're channeling, it will be using this as a channel. These are deep pullback, and sometimes they become channeled, sometimes they become ending diagonal, right? So you get a drop with a 1, 2, 3, you get a pullback, you get a 1, 2, 3, you get a pullback. Well, it could probably drop here, make a 2, come here, and then go back up like a thing like this, come back here, and then go out. If you see that pattern, or this one takes off. So go for this trade, and then we'll see what happens when it comes here, right? So sell setup. If it makes a flag there, sell the flag. Don't wait, don't keep it here. This is just in case it drop. I don't think they're going to drop. They made a flag here, so they'll probably make a flag here. Look for a flag sell. So I'll say look for a flag sell. Let's go with that. Gold is always downside. There's a pullback, nice pullback. We expect this to go and break the top. There's a flat forming here. I think they'll break the top. This flat is mostly like Friday. Remember I said when you bought this or if you bought that, watch it when it comes here because you're going to get this. I think we're getting that there. So this could be a buy setup that will come here. Look for a flag here. If you get a flag within this range, you can buy to break the top. But once it breaks the top, look for profit because it can come back. This was the one we thought would drop, but then when it started to do this, I think we figured out that's a correction. So this one was slow. It's not a very impulsive. So I thought this would drop, and that would make sense. But once it started making more correction here, I think we're still downside. That hasn't changed. The downside hasn't changed. What changes is how the structure develop, right? This seems to be the most corrective part. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make this flat here. It could stay here for a while. I don't think they will because this was a simple one. So I think this is a simple one. Go break the top and then come back. So if this goes up here, what would silver do? Not necessarily go up. Silver could still drop, right? Or silver could stay sideways. Or it could even make another high, but you're not buying silver. Buy gold because we know what gold needs to break this top. Silver doesn't have to go break anything, right? It could go back up to this top here, but there's no need for that, right? There's no specific need for that. This could come back here and then drop, right? But we don't know that it's going to do. We know gold will very likely do it. To complete that pattern, they normally would break the top. So this one you can ignore if it goes up, but you buy the gold. If let's say gold drop from this point, can gold drop from this point here? Yeah, all we'll go with is a contracting flat. Right? We'll put this here as a contracting flat and drop. You'll have to get a flag here to sell. But then sell silver because it's a better sell. Right? You wouldn't want to sell this here and watch it tag you here and then go back there when you see this as a flat. Right? So the best thing is look for the buy here, let it break that top, then look for the sell. It could be more complex than that, by the way. I'm just giving you the simple one. There's a buy setup forming here if you get a flag. This one didn't make a flag. I would have bought this here. I would have been looking for a buy here, but there's no flag. So if you make a flag here, you can look for a buy. Go to 15, wait for a 15 minutes flag. I would look for a buy setup. It's a very short-term buy setup. We'll see if we get it. If it drop more, then we'll sell the silver. Euro is kind of consolidating here. We were expecting it to do one more. We had a nice sell on Friday in Euro. If you took the sell, if you didn't take the sell, the first sell was this, and the second one, if anybody took it, you kept it. If you didn't, then it's okay. Just wait for this. We had some other trades that went well. I think we can go back up there. We're making this flag, very likely. And we're coming back here because this was very sharp. Now, again, this one is kind of sharp. I don't think it is the thing. So if this goes up sharp, good for us. If it goes up slow, we'll assume that we're making a more extended running flat. But there is a buy setup forming here. There's a consolidation going on there. Let this come up some more here because this was very slow. This is like a slow one, but this is going up slow. So let it come here and come back here. I think this will make more of a bigger flat before it goes. Right? This is the low. That's the impulse. So I think we're making a bigger flat here to go up. It will be a buy setup. You just have to be careful. I don't like the idea of buying this because it's slow. But if you take it, don't worry. Just keep a bigger stop. Or when it comes here, if it starts to go down, close the trade. So we're looking for a buy setup here. Pound, we already have a buy in it. I think this is the easiest one, right? It's a correction. We're correcting this whole thing. Pound is most likely downside. The pound sell we had definitely on Friday. We took that. I think pound will come back lower, break these low, break out of this structure. I don't think it's going back up. There's a slight chance it does, but I don't think it's doing it, right? There's a slight chance all of this is part of the expanding flat and that this actually comes back here and then come down. But I don't think we're doing that. I think we're likelihood coming here first, even if we're going to go back up. So it's a correction of that impulse, that drop. It's a buy setup. It's actually a very good buy setup. I mean, it's a safe trade. If it doesn't go, you don't have to worry about it. So the only thing that can go wrong with this is that, well, instead of going up, it just works its way down to the bottom here, right? You wait for it to go back up, take this trade off, wait for it to go back, and then we sell. I would actually, if you ask me, I would prefer it to make a flat for the sell. It's an easier trade to trade because with an impulse like that, breaking out of a structure like this with a flat here, this would be just that's a gift. Right? Selling something like that is so easy. It's not difficult. It's easy to do. This one here we are taking as a risky trade. It's not that much of a risky trade. Worst case, you can break even, right? It's going to make an impulse like this. So if it break and it goes slow, take it off. It goes sharp, take your profit off because it's going to come back down. So whichever you're going to get a trade, you don't have to worry about it. That's a simple trade, right? So we're going to take this as a correction of this impulse and let's see how far it goes. So that's a buy setup. Aussie has a buy setup, but we have to break this low first. So Aussie is at the top there, and we expect it. We had two sales on Friday. I think both of them closer profit, small profit, but closer profit, take them off. We're selling this from the top coming. And I don't think the buy is ready because we need to break this low here before, at least this low we need to break. And maybe this one. I would assume that it's going up here, but then it's going to drop here and then go back up. So if you're buying this, it's only to get to break this top, which means I'd rather buy a pound or buy gold rather than buy this, right? Because this one, we don't even know how far it's going to go. And I don't think you have a big range of trade in there, right? So let it go there and then look for the sell, right? There's a small range. And better yet, if it comes down here first and then do this. So the sell would be easy, right? So I think it's going to go break the top. I don't think, what's the range? Can we trade it? From here to break the top, it's 15 pips. Leave it alone. Just let it go break the top and then we look for the sell. I don't think this is the start of the upside. We definitely need to break this low first. So I wouldn't be jumping into that thinking it's going up. But eventually also it's a buy, right? Eventually it's a buy. I just don't think it's this one. If you want to give this a try, don't buy it above the top here. If you want to give it a try, you have to get a trade inside here. So by the time you break the top, you can put the break even. And since it's 15 pips, you might not get the chance to put it to break even. Right? If it's 20 or 30 or so pips, then you get that chance to put it to break even. And then wait to see if it goes more or if it comes back. If not, let it break the top, make another flag. That's all buy. That's a safe buy. Break the top, make another flag. Now you know it's going up, right, from here. So I'll leave that open. And New Zealand doesn't have to go lower. If you want to buy New Zealand. If you want to take a risky trade for upside, remember when this was going up, I didn't think it was going to break the top. We thought it will stop here, go down, and then come back up. It broke the top. That didn't stop us from expecting it to come down. It came down. Now we're looking for upside. Can it drop one more? Of course. It can definitely drop one more. Now, this one is really sharp. I don't have anything to it. If we're gonna use this as an impulse, it's an impulse. If we're gonna use something in the past, the closest you can probably go is this one. Now this could be a flat of its own, so there's no point in that. This is a single sharp one. This is making consolidation down. So I think this actually belongs to this flat here. It can come a little more, probably break the top just like Aussie does, drop one more, and then upside. Now, I think this is going to go back up. We did break the top here, so we're thinking running flat. What are the chances that we're wrong about it and it's going down a lot? I think that's rare. I'm not betting on this coming back here as yet, right? Because there's a good chance that's a running flat from. We need to break this top before it turns, right? It's a very high probability you're going to go break this top here before you come down back because this is a perfect flat, right? You've got a 1, 2, 3, you've got an up move, and this is going to go. So this is just mostly a flat in here for upside. We had flats like that there. We had a running flat there. You had a bigger one here. So let's look for a buy setup. And we can actually take this buy setup because this one here is good. Now, the only reason you wouldn't take this is if it comes back way to the bottom. And I think they're coming there already. So if this drop to the bottom, especially if you break the low, it will go back up here, drop one more, and then we look for the buy. We can even look for a sell here because the range might be enough if you get a flag at the top. Don't sell this here. Right. Now, what's the range of this one to the top? That's 26 pips. So if it comes back here, if it drop a little more here and go and give you a flag here, take the trade. As long as we haven't broken the low, we can take the trade. Now, sometimes you get a deep pullback and then they take off. And we're expecting that takeoff. So we will take this trade in here. Don't take it above the top. Let it break, make another flag, then go. So if we get a trade from here going up there, 26 pips, we can take it and then put it to break even. Or even take profit out of it. Depends on how it goes. If we see the turning point back to the downside. Now, can it drop one more here and then go? Yeah, I have no problem with that. Absolutely can. Make a flat here, drop here, give you divergence, huge divergence, and then turn. That's a possibility. So we can look for a buy setup here too. CAD, it's an actual sell. That's a trade we put on already. This is a sell setup. You can put that as an active sell. Right, so we got an active buy on one of them and an active sell on one. Active buy is on the pound. The pound is a buy, sorry. The pound is a buy, yes, an active buy. Pound is an active buy. Those are two active trades, which means we already have the entry order in for them. Now, this one might go break the top. And if it goes higher, let's say it goes higher into this, try to get the sell from the top coming down. But if it stays here, keep the entry here because this is only 15 pips. We already checked that. So unless it goes higher, then no. The move is this flat. It comes here, retest the top, then drop. Or it comes there, and like the New Zealand, it totally dropped. It totally dropped through this bottom here, make the big move. So we don't go back up, but we totally drop. So we take this trade and keep an eye on it when it comes here. It has to break this low. And when it breaks though, if you think it's still going, you can stay with the trade. If you think it's turning, close the trade, look for the buy setup, right? So we'll see which one. Swiss. Okay, we were expecting this to break out and go to the top. It didn't do that. It actually pulled back here, but that's a consolidation. So I'll take this out for now because this is the impulse and we actually broke the low of that impulse. So anything that forms here might be more of a running flat for one more down. Can we go with this as the flat? It could be. This could be the flat. This here is the flat. Right? 1, 2, 3. And this is just a move down where you get a running flat here, something like this again. You get an up move there for this. And then it come down, break the low, and then go. I do think we'll break the low. So probably don't try to trade this from here until we break this low. Let it come back. Even if this one drop and break the low, let it break the low, then we go. I don't think the buy is a good idea here. All right, there is a buy setup here. 1 second, guys. Give me a second, please. Sorry about that. Yes. So there is a buy setup here. But it's not the best buy setup because it might just break the stop and then come back. So I think we just leave it. We'll see. We'll decide on that buy. If it doesn't go very deep, we can consider it. So I'll put it as a buy setup and wait for that. If it works its way down to the bottom here, we'll take it off because I think they might drop and break the low. Once it breaks this low, we start buying. We look for the buy setup. Yen, it's coming down. I think you can get a sell setup there. It's kind of, you're breaking out of that. So if you want to trade this higher, you can put an entry under this low here because they made a pullback there and go for the sell. We broke the top. Remember, we wanted this to break the top and then start looking for the sell setup. Well, we broke the top now and we're getting a sell setup. We should go for it. If it becomes another flat, let's say this becomes another flat, it will probably just do this and go back up. You have that, like this one actually drop pretty deep and then go back up. Again, can it tag you here and stay for a while? Well, it could do this. If it does that, close the trade. Don't keep it to see if it's going to retest the top because it could retest the top and then come here and go back up. All right, so in that case, just close the trade. But it's a sell setup right now. I think it's a really good sell too. So this would be an active sell. Euro New Zealand. So Euro New Zealand, we're coming down. I think we still have to break the low. We're just about one step away from breaking that low. There is a flat forming here. I'll just let it drop here, break the low, and then we start looking for the buy. Just ignore it, let it break the low. Don't try to trade it at that point. There's no point. You're not going to get a result. But once it breaks the low, you're going up for the big move to the upside. So just leave that alone. Since we're making this for YouTube, I would go through. If you're watching this on YouTube and you would like to have the analysis for all of these, you can just join all our live sessions by sending me a message on Skype, and I'll tell you how you can join us. The Skype is in the description, but just in case you can't find it there, it's MANGAL457, right? That is if you would like to follow what we do. We do this live every day, a couple times a day. I think this is the only trading room that does so much live sessions. I'm not aware of another place that does it, but if you do, then great. I think a lot of people are trying to do these live sessions very often because we started that trend and it's working very well. If you do join the group as a full-time, you have lifetime access to this for the rest of your life. You would have access to some of the most amazing traders in the world you're going to meet. They're here. And if you want to just join, if you don't have the money to join fully, you can join as an installment trader. What that means, you're going to pay however much you can pay partially every month until you've completed the payment, and then you'll be in the group full-time. A lot of traders have done that already. And, those who started 2 years ago are already in the group. A year ago, they're already in the group, right? So never late to start. What that will give you also while you're paying is that you will have access to 2 live sessions. That is the London session and the New York session, where we take trades, where we show you the analysis, we show you the trades, and we follow up with them. So you also get to learn something in the way as you're going. That said, let's go on. I'm going to skip all of this, and we're going to do some of these, and we'll do some cryptos. So if you stick around, you'll see some more of those analysis. So this is dropping. It's a good sell. I think it's going to go lower, as you can see. Look for sell setups. Wait for flags. Sell. This would have been a sell setup. So wait for flag sell. We're trying to do something like this. So at any point it make a flag, go for the sell. These were the buys. Take them off. Sorry about that. Look for sales. It's coming down back here, and we're trying to make this. We're trying to make a flat here, like a 1, 2, 3, and then there's a very good chance it's going to go back up from there. So look for sell setups here. Natural gas coming down, and it's coming down really nice. I think we're getting a flag here already. Look for a sell setup. US oil. Okay, this was a buy on Friday. It went up. It didn't break the top. I hope you close the trade. You had a million opportunity to close it, so take profit. Now let's relook at this. We're still in this correction, right? We haven't broke out of the top, so we're still doing this, which means this should come back and break the low, and then we're going to go back up. So it's still a buy setup. That has not changed. The buy setup has not changed, except that this one is trying to come back and retest this low here. So it'll probably come here and then look for the buy. It's still a buy. It's just a bigger flat. So I'll take this out. You don't need to sell this. I don't think we're going to sell this. We came back to the top. There's no point looking for a sell. So what you have is a small flag, a small flag, a small flag, and now you're getting a bigger one. So you can take this out, and this is making the bigger flat, right? It could consolidate much more, which means I wouldn't be surprised if that goes there, then come back here and kind of repeat the series of these here. But when all of this is finished, you're going up. So every time you come back to the low, look for a buy setup. Take the buy setup to the upside. We don't know how long this will stay here or how deep it's going to come into this move before it goes. But it's not going to drop. Rarely it's going to drop. It's going to mostly come, tag the low, go back up, tag the low, go back up. So look for buy setups now, right? US started. So US started, this was a sell on Friday, take that out. It went much more than we expected because I didn't think they were going to break the low. I thought they'll come here, but then we thought of a running flat. Now, this thing has a lot of sharp pieces here. And if you try to figure out what pattern you're making with those sharp pieces, the risk is you will get the wrong one. So what we're going to do here now is this is looking upside. If that looks upside, then we'll have to decide where is the flat. Which one of these is the flat? This one for upside? Or is it going to come break the low here first and then go? So the sell for the downside is good. We would look for a sell setup, assuming it's going to come here, make this a running flat, and then go back up. So if the running flat is here, then it could go up from here, but we don't have a good buy setup. So rather than buy it now, I'll wait. If we get a sell setup, we'll take it, but the buy, we'll have to wait for it to go up some more, make a flag or a flat, and then look for the buy. Because that would be a safer trade. So we'll take this out and we'll wait. S&P 500. We tried to buy this on Friday. We thought that would make a flat, but now it's not a flat. You can take it out. You can take that trade out. All right, so we sold the US 30, but we were trying to buy this, and it turned out to drop lower. So if it dropped lower, that means we're still in the consolidation. You can actually pull it like this now. That means you get a 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't be surprised if they come down back one more. And I wouldn't be surprised if this actually drops here and then go back up. So if you start to get a sell setup here, it might be worth taking it. And it looks like we're getting a sell setup there. Let me see. I want to see if it's actually just a flag or you're getting a small sell. It's not as good as this one. This was a good sell. This one is not that good. First, it's very small. And the second thing is this impulse is too small. So if this goes back up there, then it becomes a flat here. Actually, we can buy it, but because this is sharp and this has a 1, 2, 3, I don't see anywhere where this goes. Right? I don't think this is going to take off. So the risk of buying it here is not a good idea. Just wait until it breaks out of the structure and then make a flag and then we buy. You want it to break out of the structure, make a flag and then buy but if you get any good sell setup, go with it. I'll take this out. Most likely you're looking for a sell setup. Okay, this one broke out. This would not have been your buy. The buy for this one was actually if this was going to make the flag here, right? And this was going to go. That was the buy setup. But now that it made a flat here and it's going up, your buy should have been somewhere here, lower, somewhere here, or even somewhere here if you saw that. Now it's looking downside. So the sell is not a bad idea. Actually, this one I'll go with the sell. Because we broke the top and we have divergence. So this is coming from the top. If it's going to consolidate again, it'll probably stay here for a while. And I'll give you a break. Even if they drop, take profit, wait for another flag and see if it drops to the bottom. Who says we don't go down from here? This is the very top. So the sell setup here is a good one. There's not a perfect sell setup right now, but you can put this here. Worst case is a tag you, pull back a little, and then come back here, close it. You know the rule, right? So if this goes higher, if this goes anywhere higher here, instead of tagging you, if it comes here, take it out, wait for it to come here, buy this. So right now, I think the possibility is downside. So we're going to put this as an active sell, but we'll manage that trade as to how the pattern is changing. RTY, let's see what this is doing. Yep, the sell setup was from here to come here, and if you did that, you did excellent. Now from this point, guess what? Look for a buy setup. It can actually drop one more. If you get a consolidation here for 1-1, it's looking more like one more down. Take it with caution. But if you get a buy setup, absolutely take the trade. All right, so we'll wait on this and see which one comes. Take this off. Look for buy setups mostly, although there's a sell setup forming here right now. You have to take that with a lot of caution, right? Okay, this was a buy. We're still in this. It's eventually going to go. It needs to come here so you can. This is the move we're looking for. Either this one goes or this one come down one more. I mean, you can make an argument that this is a running flat and we're coming back one more here and then go. I don't like the sell setup. Wait for the buy. If it makes a flat here, buy it. DAX. Okay, we broke out of the structure, right? So if you sold that, you did well. Within this structure, we're looking for a buy back to the top. Now that it broke, sell. Now that this structure is not what they're doing, it's a sell setup. Right? Once you break out of that, this just becomes a huge flat here for downside. Right? That becomes a huge flat for downside. So it's now an active sell, and that sell could go for a long time. Once it make a flat there, you can sell it. I think this was a sell already. If you took that sell there, if you took this sell here, and you look for another sell here. So any flag you get here in the 15 1 hour, I think this was a sell. You can see that. All right, that was a good sell if you took it. Wait for another flat here. This is going to make more of a flat, which means this is going to pull back a little here and then go with this sell. Let it pull back more, right? Because you're correcting all of this. So pull back more, we go for the sell. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple of the crypto for you guys, and then we're going to pause it out for my YouTube viewers. If you're watching this again, if you want more, join us live and you'll get all the analysis you need, including those that you individually do, like these here. These are individual trades that our traders trade, but we look to them. So Bitcoin dropped. We're expecting it to go back up. It didn't go. Actually, it made a flag drop here. And now this is the pattern. Now, can this drop some more? Of course. I still would be careful of the sell. Right now, it looks like you're getting a buy setup here. This looks like a nice running flat here. You can put an entry here and see whether it does that. Right? So that's a buy setup. If it drops lower, then it'll make a flat for the sell. So I think we can look for a buy setup here. There's a good buy setup forming here in the 15. Let me see. Yep, I would actually, you had a flag here already, a smaller one, but they could still be that this is making a running flat. So go with the possibility of a running flat here, put an entry above the top. If it takes off, good. If it goes, let's say it does just a spike like that to come back, you will get enough to close the trade, right? So we bought this the last time, if you remember. When it go there, all you had to do was put a stop somewhere here or somewhere here, and you'll be out of that trade, right? In any case, if you didn't put any stop, you could have closed the trade in here when you saw it. Now, we'll repeat the same thing here. And if this makes a spike like this again and decide to go down, you'll get out of that trade. You'll go with this as a running flat. I don't think that's a running flat, but you can make an argument for that. Can this just break the top here like this and then go back down? Yeah, you just get rid of the trade if it doesn't go going. Now, the whole bigger picture is upside, right? This thing looks like a huge flat for upside, this whole piece, right? 1, 2, 3. So that upside is a higher probability trade. I think we go for it. That would be a buy setup. ETH. Okay, this is going back up too, and it looks like we can break out of this and then come down. The bigger picture is down, so but you need to break this stop. So if you get a flag here, there's no flag, but if you get a flag buy, XRP, this is mostly a sell. Ignore this. 1 second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, just my throat is giving me some issues. So this is mostly a flat here. Although I expect them to go back to that top, it doesn't look like this is ready to go. I would not buy it. I would not even sell it. So we'll stay away from this one. I'm going to do 2 more, and I normally do these 2 because our traders trade them a lot. So this one is coming down. I expect this to go back up one more because of this pattern. So if you get a buy setup here, I think it's forming a small flag here. But if it comes lower, let it go lower, wait for a buy setup. Don't, the sell here is not a good one because you're still in this, right? And that means it can go back up one more. This one here, this could drop. This could drop. So this comes here, even if it goes there, it will be more of a sell setup. I will not buy this. So with that, I'm going to leave you. If you're one of my YouTube viewers, I hope you enjoy it. Click a like, leave a comment. You can share the video with anybody you think it might help. And have a good week ahead of you. Trade with care, make some money. See you next week. Take care. Bye.